back with more Angel. This is episode 21 of season 5, the penultimate episode of the season, the penultimate episode of Angel, the penultimate episode of the live action Buffyverse. What is going on? How are we here? I don't know. But yeah, next time I get out of this chair, I'll have finished Angel, so I'm watching these two back to back. And yeah, I'm gonna probably down a bottle of wine afterwards and kind of contemplate what life means now. There'll be no meaning. So yeah, I am very excited, very nervous. Because, you know, episode before the season finale is normally quite a lot anyway, but when it's the episode before the end of the show, and I'm sure we're now at the point where, you know, they knew this was the end, and, you know, they kind of wrote this after they got the news of the cancellation stuff, I would assume. Otherwise, damn. Can you imagine getting cancelled and you only had like one more episode to write? Like, how the hell would you manage that? I suppose Shadowhunters kind of did it. It doesn't matter. Either way, I am very intrigued to see what this episode's going to entail, what's going to go down. Last episode, we had Spike and Angel Antics, which is basically season 5 in a nutshell, really. But, you know, we had some good stories with them, and a more comedic turn, which I personally quite liked. And then we also had the really awful stuff. Awful, not like, as in, it was awful to watch. Well, it was awful to watch. I can't word. You know, painful to watch everything with, you know, Fred's parents and that side of things. So big moments with that. How's this episode going to break me? We'll have to wait and see, I'm sure. But I am very excited to get into it, and to kind of round off this journey with this one. Yeah, don't know what really to expect. Even like, is it just going to be like another one-off kind of thing? And then the finale is just very wrapping everything up in the best way that they can. Does this build up to it in some ways? It's like almost a part one. I'm excited to find out either way. And yeah, it's kind of madness that we're here. You can tell I've been stressed about it because we've got a co-host today. That friend there on my forehead. But, you know, that's stress for you. I wanted to I would have waited normally, so I was a bit more presentable. But, you know, I didn't want more people coming for my head than I already have. So I've blocked enough people the past couple of days. So let's just get this out there. And I want to see how Angel ends as well. You know, I'm excited. So, yes. Once more into the breach. Here we go. Okay, good start. I mean, not for this guy. That was a good shot. Huh. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
You're not perfectly happy, are you? Because I got my wooden stool.
It's kind of nice in a way that he can have a life like that without going evil. So I'm sure it's a fake out with the opening.
I spent years fighting to get somewhere, to accomplish something, and now that I'm close to it,
This feels very
what I see,
end of series.
You're my hero.
it may not always be.
But you try. You always try.
Outside, my place just on the other side of the window.
I'd love to see, like,
From where is this?
just an episode of Illyria just going on tour. Like, just sat at Disneyland, like, staring at children, like...
I'm gonna kill you.
You may not think you're as powerful as you were, Highness, but looking like Fred, for some of us, it's the most devastating power you have.
That's true.
There's been another fatality in Funville.
What?
That abandoned amusement park downtown. Third victim.
Doesn't sound very fun, does it?
We'll talk later, okay?
He's putting on some kind of front again, isn't he?
You should no regard for my presence.
Not that you require any creature's attention. Hey, you wanna go find something to hit?
A Gulf War veteran and Bronze Star.
No, don't hit a Gulf War veteran.
We're not about to ruin a man's life and reputation just so you can.
We can do it. What? Not sure how long your reconditioning like that would take.
I think he just wants, like, he wants to get in their good books for a purpose. Oh.
Am I looking?
As his strength increases, so does the separation between him and his followers.
That was your world, not this one.
Not suffer intimates. Will eventually turn against them.
Guess I don't have to worry about that, because Angel and me have never been intimate. Except that one.
Mark me.
Oh,
He will murder one of you.
He already has.
you.
What did this to you? The Boris, was it? No. It was Angel.
That'd look good on a calf.
Yeah.
Thinking of getting a tattoo, right?
I've drawn it on the back where it's plain, but
Angel came across one of them.
Oh, Angel was afraid I'd find something in the deeper well. Something that would uncover the truth about his involvement. In what? Helping Illyria escape from her tomb. Illyria's resurrection may have been planned by Angel. Oh, that doesn't make a lick of sense.
no, it doesn't.
But I still can't wrap my head around the notion that Angel had anything to do with Fred. Or any of this.
Angel's been doing a number of things out of character lately.
Yeah, but how far he went to try and help Fred.
But why is this happening now?
Feel free to play a little Crash Bandicoot. Give you lots of
Oh, I love Crash Bandicoot. I wish they weren't so quick to doubt him.
See what they make of that.
Consider all the alternatives. What is it about when a show's about to wrap up that are like, let's have everyone turn on the leader?
It's on yours.
I don't enjoy it.
power. Power tips the scale, power sets the course, and until I have real power, global power, I have nothing. I accomplish nothing.
Right, the first, calm down.
How you get this power, the small stuff that you can't worry about. Would that include Fred? I love Fred. That's not an answer. Then I guess you don't get one.
Oh dear. Look, he's the world's best actor, you know? We've seen this when he tricked Faith. I think it's all just... Oh, it's a mirror. Am I drunk? Oh, hello again.
We taking a chaperone? My sister and Amanda.
I need you to be out of here.
It's typical.
How can I convince you I want to be with you?
Show me a fourth ticket. I'll go. Why on earth would I stay?
Oh, good. Well...
Task of some sort. You must collect those crystals.
I love the way he was holding the controller as well.
You have no right to walk this earth. Your time has passed. You belong to the well.
It's a terrible way of flirting, mate.
I play this game. It's pointless and annoys me. And yet I'm compelled to play on.
That's life.
Does that not?
Oh, hello.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little disappointed.
Well, you know,
Mixture. Oh, I've bled this easily.
she's been a bit depowered, mate.
Skinny little
Don't get
body.
too cocky.
Cool. Yes, that's probably it.
So what are you gonna do?
Christ.
Circle of the Black Thorn.
Sounds like a little sewing club for
It's a secret society.
Never heard of them.
That's because they're secret.
There's plenty of these cabals.
Sounds definitely not evil.
I thought the senior partners were responsible for the apocalypse.
Senior partners are on a different plane. Down here, it's players in the circle that make things happen. Hell, you
Oh,
tell
okay.
about one of them, that's kind of like getting the keys to the chocolate factory. To be the Black Thorn is to be the senior partner's instrument on Earth. Doesn't get bigger than that.
Looks like Angel succeeded where you failed.
He doesn't have it in him.
Doesn't have what in it.
Yeah, but
Well, for
I
starters,
think he's just pretending so he can get in, maybe. Although, how would he know about them?
If he's been swayed from that, influenced, then maybe there's still time. We can bring him back. He'd
Or
do
you
the same
don't
for any of us,
need to.
regardless of our actions.
I do like that Wesley's kind of... If he's entertaining the idea at all, you know, it's like, maybe he can come back from it, because he now remembers when he went off on his own little dark path. Right, back to the beginning. Oh. Right. Oh, shit. Wow, okay. Maybe he wasn't very nice. Even though he seemed kind of nice. He's never going to finish Crash Bandicoot now.
Let me introduce you around to a few people. Some of these folks you know, some you don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, I recognize a few.
With the Archduke.
Yep.
Kudos, child.
I'm not going to take the White House in 2008 on just my sparkling wit and funding from hostile governments.
She's doing the evil laugh.
You've been looking for me.
Actually, I've been
Yeah, that was the guy
for you.
who wanted Connor to kill Sarjan, right?
Everybody's here. Here, let me freshen that up.
Everybody's here, huh? So he knows everyone. Oh god, wow.
I want to stay down.
Or what?
Oh heck. I mean, good for you though, Lorne, getting shot in.
Volberry. All right. We have 6 minutes.
Till what?
The glamour collapses. As far as anyone outside this room
There we go.
Each other's throats. I knew Drogon could handle himself. I told the assassin just enough to lead Drogon to think I played a part in resurrecting Illyria.
Okay, that's what I figured.
For allies against me.
I smell Oscar.
When did this start? 2 months ago. With a kiss.
Though it didn't hit me. Told you that.
Oh, you got a vision! Like when Doyle kissed Cordelia goodbye.
So I decided to use it. To make her death matter. And it worked. I'm in.
But you did kill the guy, right?
Except you want to take them on? They're in a machine. The Blackthorn runs it. We can bring their gears to a grinding halt, even if it's just for a moment. I'm talking about killing every single member of the Blackthorn.
Ah, is that what the finale is? Oh god, and they could all just die, and that's the show. That's what's kind of scary about it at this point.
I'm in. I'm in.
I thought it would be. To make Fred's death mean even more. Huh. Is he suspicious or? Oh god, okay. Oh heck. Okay, very good episode overall. A very interesting setup for the finale. I think it's left things in a very good place, kind of heading into the last episode. Like they have this clear goal, this clear mission, this clear kind of state of intent. You know, a lot of the episode kind of spoke about, you know, everything Angel's been doing up to this point as a character, as a show. You know, him fighting the good fight, and trying to, you know, make that difference. And it also kind of bled into the morally grey ways that he sometimes has to achieve it, I suppose. Whenever Angel's closing some double doors like that, you know, shit's going down. We had that in this episode. We had that in his like little dark turn in season 2 as well. You know, Are You Now? Have You Ever Been? Very similar kind of deal. So I did like that they took the time to kind of address that and be like, you know, this is what Angel's been fighting for all this time. This is what his struggle has been for as long as we've known him, really. Certainly since he came to LA. And now this is potentially their final fight. I mean, for some of them it definitely is. Obviously I do know one thing that goes down in the next episode, and I'm not looking forward to watching it. But yeah, there could be a lot of kind of, we could lose a lot of people here. But I do like that. At least all of them, maybe Lorne is included as well. We didn't actually see Lorne's response, which I think was probably a purposeful choice, because I could go either way for Lorne. I'm not sure if he wants to or should get involved in this, because I don't want to lose Lorne. I mean, I'm going to lose him regardless, because only one more episode, I guess. But yeah, I did like that. You know, they've all made this choice, as far as we are aware, to kind of go down fighting. If this is, you know, something that they can do, even if it kills them, this is taking out some major players in the apocalypse if they get rid of all these circle members. And I did like the big scheme that the whole episode kind of had going for it. You know, starting off with Angel killing Drogon, I think it is, from A Hole in the World. Wasn't expecting to see him again, but they brought him back in a very interesting way. I feel like they did him dirty. I hope they address that in the next episode. Like, he killed him, right? Angel killed him. Like, that is morally grey. That was your friend, right? And he just killed him. I know it's like... it's hard to like say, oh, the greater good, because like he still kills the guy to achieve it, you know. But if he had to prove it, either way, I think it's going to be a big misstep if they don't address that in the next one, and I don't know if they do or not. So hopefully they do. So I'm going to have to save that for now. But poor guy right now. He went through the shitter in this one. Like, he died thinking Angel had entirely betrayed him. But when he did turn up all like beaten up and said, "Oh, Angel sent these people after me," my thought was Angel probably assumed you could handle yourself, because he could, for the most part. But when he finished him off, that, oh Jesus! So I wasn't expecting that. So even though I wasn't fooled for even a second by, you know, everyone being like, "Oh my God, Angel's been corrupted. He's been turned." So I think, you know, that just happened way too quickly for it to have been legit for me. So in a way, I'm kind of I spent the whole episode being like, yeah, just get to the reveal. We know this isn't the way it is, especially when they start the episode with the whole, "Oh, he's bitten someone." I think if it was legit, they would save that for like the end of the episode and actually reveal it then. So, you know, they just want you to be tricked, I guess, and they want you to be put in the shoes of all the other team. And it is the classic thing. Buffy did it as well, where everyone just suddenly turns on the leader just as the show's coming to an end. And I'm like, this is the one moment I want them to all be an actual team here. So I'm glad we kind of got them on a united front at the end. But, you know, to spend the entire penultimate episode of them doubting Angel, I'm like, I'm not here for this after 5 years, you know. It happens in so many shows. I get it, you know. It's not just like a thing that Angel has done as a show. But, you know, I enjoy... You know, you've built up this like found family for 5 years. Actually, let them be that. But I'm sure that's something that the final episode will deliver, even though they're all about to split up probably, so they can take down multiple members on their own. So maybe not. But, you know, at least we got to a little point like that at the end, and they're all kind of in this together now. So it was cool to kind of see that reveal. And it wasn't like it's just he was faking all that time, there were no consequences to it, because he did kill that guy. So there is like a morally grey thing to it, which I did appreciate. So it does have like a bit more meaning than just... We've spent a whole episode pointlessly tricking you into thinking Angel's evil. You know, I think it was clever to kind of start it off with the fact that, you know, he had slept with Nina the night before. So it's like, oh, is it going to happen? But, you know, how quickly it happened after he slept with Buffy and he turned evil, you know, it wasn't happening. But I did like that they put that in there, and to see, you know, how deep Angel got into all of this, and even sending the assassins like after Drogon and everything, you know, even that is just morally grey in itself, because there was still a chance that he would have just been killed by those assassins anyway, and like, oh, well damn. You know, it's all very well and good like having faith, but he also got very lucky, I guess, that Drogon was the one that they ended up getting in to have Angel kill. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of aspects to that I did appreciate that they did. It wasn't just a flat out, oh, I guess Angel's evil, let's all doubt him, folks. The evidence is all there, even though we all know that that's not what they're doing. Maybe if this was like in the middle of the season and they do like another similar arc like with season 2 with Angel, but not when there's only one more episode after this. I didn't buy that for a second, so I'm glad they did something that didn't make it just feel like, well, that was kind of a waste of time. And yeah, it kind of gives some interesting kind of stage setting for the finale. Part of me is a bit like about like they've been building up the scene of partners for literally 5 seasons and 5 years. It's like, but these are the real guys in charge, you know. It's actually the Circle of the Blackthorn, the secret society, because we didn't know we were going to do this until now. Maybe that comes from the fact like, oh shit, we need to wrap this up. Maybe we can't wrap it up by having the senior partners be, you know, the big bad that needs to be stopped or whatever, or needs to be fought in this. Maybe we just need to actually have them not be the higher powers after all. They're not like the top of the top. It's actually these guys. Maybe it's just simpler, and they would have gone a different direction had they had like season 6 and more time. So maybe it's to do with that, because it does feel a bit like, oh, why do we have the senior partners be built up for the entire show, literally the entire show, and then the episode before it ends, it's like, actually, these guys are the real power behind the apocalypse that we need to get rid of. That does feel a bit like, which is a shame, but that might have come from the fact that, they weren't expecting this to be the end just yet. But still, I at least I think it was clever with the circle that, we had characters like Lindsay who had prior knowledge of it, so we're learning about them from someone that we are very familiar with anyway, and someone who has been around since literally the very first episode, so that kind of adds a bit more credence to it. You believe in it a bit more then, and, spinning it as this is why Lindsay came back to LA in the first place. I don't know, again, if that was their original intention when Lindsay did come back, because they didn't know they were cancelled at that point. It might have just been something else entirely, or just like revenge on Angel, plain and simple, but then they added this in to kind of give Lindsay something at the end of the show, maybe. But I think it worked. I think they do kind of pay off with that. And the fact that a lot of the members are characters that we've seen previously. So obviously we met like the senator lady in this same episode, so she was one, cool. But there are other characters, like the guy from Origin, who set Connor up to kill Sarjan. He was there. The other guy with the horns. A lot of them had horns, I think, because Secret Evil Society. But a few things like that. We have the members are pre-established characters that we've seen. So I think that was also a wise move. It wasn't just like, here's a completely new set of characters that are the actual big villains of the show when all is said and done. So I think that was a smart move as well, and I am excited to see how/if they deal with that, because that is one smart thing with this, because they go into this big epic fight, and you're like, okay, sure, they'll get out of it because there's another season to go yet, but now there's no more seasons to go. There's comics, obviously. I do know there are comics, so I'm sure not everyone's gonna die, but they could. They feasibly could, certainly at this point when the show was airing, we could easily lose all of them the next one. So I like that we have this setup, which has, we have had big battles like this before with things, but the stakes are truly there because there's only one episode left. So I do like that. That does make me a bit nervous. I obviously know of one casualty that we're going to experience in the next one, so that got spoiled for me like halfway through season 4 ages and ages ago. But there could be more that I don't know about, and I'm very nervous about that. So yeah, the whole kind of ploy with Angel, I'm glad they instilled a few things into the plot line to actually make it have a bit more weight than just we've tricked you for an episode and it's kind of been a waste of time. They have more layers to it. There's been consequences because it seems Angel's relationship with Nina's now in tatters, because I guess he just wanted her to be safe and sent her away and everything, but maybe that means that's done, which is kind of a shame. But again, we didn't have that much of Nina anyway. She seems nice enough, but she's not Buffy or Cordelia, is she? Let's be frank. So yeah, it's just moments like that again that show that Angel isn't too far gone, because he had a scene where he seems like himself again. He's like sending Nina off. So I did enjoy that side of things, and that has weight, and Lindsay is aware of this circle. Angel has now killed an old friend to kind of get into this inner circle, so he kind of found out who was involved and who their targets are, relaying that intel. And it is made up of characters we have already seen for about half of it, I suppose. So I'm glad about that. It doesn't feel like, oh, that was a waste. So I'm intrigued to see where that all goes. But yeah, it was nice to kind of see Angel have a relationship and that he can like sleep with people. I suppose he also, him and Darla as well, but that wasn't really pure happiness, was it? That was very angsty, and it led to the most angsty child who's ever lived in that universe. But it is possible for him to have a relationship and a physical relationship with someone and not turn evil, which is nice. I think that's good to know. Also a bit of a burn, I guess. It's like being with you isn't perfect happiness. Lol, sorry about it. But at least Nina was shown to be aware, like, of what happened in Rome and that he was seeing Buffy there and everything. So, you know, there's kind of an open honesty to that, which I did enjoy that they explored, but it's probably all over now, let's be frank. So, yeah, it was just more so, I guess, Angel being protective and making sure she doesn't get hurt. Because he seems pretty damn convinced that this is their final fight and he could easily just die here. So there's no point, like, you know, keeping Nina by his side or stringing her along when he could easily just die anyway. So he might as well guarantee her safety than just be like, oh, I'll wait for you, you know. So I think that made sense, even though it is kind of a shame that, you know, the relationship ends just as soon as it properly seems to begin. But they'll always have that time where he turned to a puppet. So treasured memories for her. But yeah, she was nice enough, but I feel like maybe that's just done. We might see her in the next one, I don't know. But yeah, that is what it is. And yeah, Marcus just continues to be shit stirrer. I don't know if he saw through the illusion at the end there or he was just convinced by it. The lingering shot makes me feel like there's going to be, you know, he's going to be trouble in the next one, I'm sure. You know, he knows all sorts of stuff as well. And, well, he just also beat up Illyria. And I guess he's involved with the Circle because I'm guessing he's the one who took Drogon to the people and then Angel killed him. So I'm guessing he's part of that. So I imagine they're going to need to take Marcus out as well, which makes sense because they've been setting him up for the past few episodes when he got brought into it to replace Eve. So yeah, more for him to kind of do, I guess. And we've seen well established in this episode included like what a physical threat Marcus can be. So, you know, it could be a big like action fight with that. And I liked that side of things as well because of the Illyria stuff, which I actually think was probably my favourite part of this episode. You know, we didn't get too much of it, but I did like that continuous exploration of just how detached she is from feelings and reality, and, you know, constant denial that she doesn't need approval or attention from anyone, but she still seeks it anyway, and she still gets upset even though she won't admit it, you know, that Wesley's not paying attention to her. You know, she was this adored and worshipped creature in her world, and now she's in this one, and someone, you know, she looks on all of them as just like casual little ants, and they just walk past her like she's not even there. That's going to be a huge insult to her, and obviously that's going to be upsetting, and I like that it is upsetting her. So that was cool to see her affected by it in that way, and just pretending that she doesn't really care, even though she's still trying to find a purpose, I think. And I liked her interactions with Drogon, when they were playing Crash Bandicoot. Very wholesome. It's one of those things that always works in the Buffyverse for me humour-wise, is when they have these outlandish, crazy characters just doing like normal things, like playing video games and stuff. I always find it really funny. So I liked that a lot, and I liked that Spike was a Crash Bandicoot fan. You know, brownie points for Spike. So yeah, I enjoyed the interaction between those two until Marcus kind of came and rained on their parade. But I think Illyria getting her ass handed to her at the end there might be something to like really spurn her on for the future now. She's like, if I'm getting so easily beaten by that idiot, you know, there's still stuff I can do. She's still physically capable, you know, when she took down that demon near the start as well. You know, she still has some strength and power to her. And that was another really good scene with her and Spike near the start of the episode, where he was kind of saying, you know, the fact that she looks like Fred and can pretend to be Fred is, you know, one of the most devastating powers she has. So it seemed like this episode with her was exploring, yes, a lot of her powers have been drained and taken away, but what powers does she have instead now? What new powers has she gained from losing the traditional sense of power she got? It's kind of like redefining, you know, what her power set is now. So it's not necessarily like she's less powerful in a way, she's just more powerful in other things, like being able to be Fred. And I kind of feel like when she was just lying there beaten up at the end, she's like, you know what, F this guy, F that, I'm still a badass and I'm going to prove that. And I feel like that's going to be spurring her on for the next one, and I'm hoping she kind of helps them out and takes a few of the Circle members out and she just like joins the team properly. I feel like that's where that's headed. So I really liked what they did with her and her character in this one quite a bit. So that was all very well and good. And then, yeah, just everyone else kind of just doubting Angel this whole time, even though, of course, Angel wasn't going to be evil again. Yes, it felt very quick and very sudden that they would doubt Angel, I think. But there's only 2 episodes left of the show. What else were they really going to do? So I did like, a few of them did have moments of doubt, and like Lorne was like, there's no way he'd be involved in killing Fred. Wesley was kind of saying, even if he has gone down this path, we can still bring him back from it, and he has kind of experience in that, I think. So I like that he was on the defensive in terms of that. I still wasn't a huge fan of how quickly they were like, yes, he must die. Yes, he is. If we have to kill him, then we shall. But, I guess the evidence was sort of there. But the fact that I think they were smart enough to at least consider, maybe this is a trick. You've been tricked about 12 million times over the course of 5 seasons. But, they need the tension. They're going to keep the tension flowing and build up that, ready for the finale. I get it. So, yeah, I guess that's fine. And at least we ended things with them all, I assume, on the same page. Unless Lorne's like, you know what, I'm going to head out, bye. Which he might be, I'm always convinced maybe Lorne isn't going to be like, yeah, I'm in. Because otherwise, why not just show that? The fact that they turned away and didn't show him putting his hand up. Maybe he's just going to be like, you know what, I'm out. Which is probably the smart move, to be honest. Like, good luck, guys, but bye. And I mean, that's what I would do. So yeah, we'll see what happens with all of that. But yeah, it's interesting to kind of see their beliefs challenged, I guess, in that way. Especially with what's gone on with Fred recently, and there's been so many moments where they've tried to almost redefine what happened to Fred and like what it was about. Because when it started off, it was like, oh, it's just an unavoidable tragedy now. There's nothing we can do to save her. It is what it is. These things just happen. And, we just have to let her die. And then it became like, oh, did, what was Gunn's role in this? And, it's his fault. Let's blame Gunn. He blames himself. And he went through all of that angst. And now it's like, oh, maybe it was orchestrated by Angel all along. Talking about that. That was kind of an interesting thing to see that challenge in a way. And I did actually really like that through all of this, Angel has been kind of like, look, this is our chance to make Fred's death mean something. Because it started off as just an unavoidable tragedy and this brutal, awful thing to lose someone that they loved so much. At least now, this makes it mean something. Which is why I'm hoping they do kind of win the day in the end. Because then it would make Fred's death mean something. And I won't spend the rest of my days just heartless and cold inside. So I actually quite like that. It's not, it's all very well and good just being like, we're killing her off because why not? Let's just make you suffer. If it ultimately means something and they do something with it by the end of this, I think just it's going to heal my heart a bit more. I'm still not over losing Fred. I don't think I'll ever be over losing Fred. It's a painful thing to think that she's not here still. Even though I'm really liking what they're doing with Illyria, particularly, at the moment. The fact that maybe they can make it mean something by taking out the circle would be nice. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, it still could go horribly wrong and they all get eaten. So we'll see. But yeah, I liked the reveal of like this was a long-standing plot for Angel. Again, the personality switch, we'd had hints of it before. Like when he's like, Gunn, we're giving those people the baby to sacrifice, deal with it. It is what it is. Again, morally grey stuff, and that's how they ended off the episode. And then they played into it again here. I do feel like the personality change was just like he woke up one morning like, oh, I should probably start to be a bit of a dick, instead of like a slow progression, which would have been cool to see. So then there might have been a bit more room for me to be like, maybe he is just going down this. Maybe they're going there, and at the end of Angel's the villain of the show, and he needs to be getting rid of. Like that would be pretty ballsy. Obviously, that's not what they've done. Which is fine. But maybe, I think maybe it was just a bit too sudden snap personality-wise. But again, that might just be from the fact that the show ended a lot sooner than they thought it was going to. But I loved that reveal with Cordelia giving him vision in their last kiss. And, it kind of reflects what happened with Doyle and Cordelia when Doyle passed on the visions to her when he died. The fact that, exactly the same way she passed it on to Angel. It's kind of like, I don't know. I find it quite sweet that Doyle, gave that ability to Cordelia, and now Cordelia gave that, very briefly, granted, but she gave it to him nonetheless, to Angel. Through the same means, it's just like the original trio's kind of connected again. I just find that really wholesome. I can't talk about it too much because it's gonna make me cry. But I just think that's really sweet. And it's kind of like Doyle's still like, I've got your back, buddy. I've got your back. We got this. He's like fighting in his corner after all this time, and I find that incredibly wholesome. So I like that little connection. Again, that's me reading way too much into it because I just loved that initial trio of the three of them so much. Considering we've literally had at this point, this is episode 109, so we've literally had 100 whole episodes without Doyle. But I'm still like, oh, Doyle. So yeah, I liked that side of things as well, and that reveal, and like Cordelia's last little gift, and she was talking about getting her guy back on track anyway, and she kind of was doing that in like reinvigorating his mission and stuff, while also giving him this other new secret one that we didn't know about till now. That was great. I really enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, it would have been cooler to see like a slower kind of build up, and you just see like Angel subtly trying to play the parts, getting a bit more corrupted. It was very suddenly happened, and obviously I don't think when we watched You're Welcome, the blue energy kind of transferred through them when they kissed. So I think it was probably just like, oh, this is how we can do it, when they had like, oh, we have 2 episodes left, what are we going to do? So I don't know if that was their intention when they wrote the 100th episodes, to have that be something that came back, but I think it works in the grand scheme of things, so I don't mind that at all. And you know, it's another little bit of Cordelia mention, a little Cordelia crumb, and her once again being wonderful and helping Angel and the others out. So I did like that reveal as well. I thought that made a lot of sense, and yeah, to see Angel still kind of fighting for something Cordelia gave him, even after she's gone. Wholesome. So yeah, very, very pleased with that. And yeah, that's the stage set for quite the finale, I think. It's so weird going into this now, being like, that's it, and that's it for Buffyverse. You know, this has been a staple of my channel for 3-4 years. I think it's 4. So it's been over a year since we finished Buffy. We finished it a year ago this month, so I think that was like 2.5-3 years. You know, either way, like the best part of 4 years, if not 4 years on my channel, kind of doing this, you know. It was just a summer in between years at uni. I was like, yeah, let's start Buffy, let's see how that goes. And now here we are, coming to the end of that long-ass journey. So that's what? Buffy was 144, wasn't it? So we've watched, 153 episodes? So that's well over 500 hours of me editing stuff. You know, that's just this one kind of verse. And God knows how long just speaking about it. It's kind of nuts. Yeah, it's insane that I've got one left and then that's it. I'm dreading it. It's going to be bittersweet, but I'm also really excited after, 4 years to see how the live action Buffyverse kind of wraps up and what they have in store for us. Certainly, they've set the scene really well, I think, for this final fight. And we'll see how we come out the other end of it and how we come out the other side. A lot of people have told me they really like Angel's finale, so I'm hoping I like it the same. Going into the end of Buffy, I was so nervous I wasn't going to like how they finished it off, because I've loved the show so much to that point. But I loved the way Buffy wrapped up, so I'm hoping I'll also love the way this wrapped up too, because it's been one hell of a journey. So yeah, I'm intrigued by that. I might actually take a bit of a break before. I'll still watch it today, but I think I need a bit of time, because I've been doing a lot of talking right now, and I'm tiring my throat out. So yeah, that's one of the reasons as well. I know people have come at me saying, "Oh, you're taking too long. You're dragging this out." I'm really not. I've got, they think it's chronic acid reflux is the thing, which makes talking incredibly painful at times. And I'm kind of getting a bit of that now, so I need a bit of a break. We don't know if it's for sure that's what it is. I'm on some tablets for it. It might just be something a bit more serious than that. We're still working out if it's something more serious, but I'm trying not to think about that because I already have enough anxiety in my body as it is. Hopefully it is just something that's treatable in the long term. But yeah, that's also why sometimes I'm just not up to filming, because I can't talk. So yes, either way, Hopefully I won't have to talk too much during the finale, because I'll probably just be busy crying instead, which, I guess is a nice alternative. But it's going to be one hell of a journey, and I can't wait to see how it all wraps up. Hopefully you guys are excited for it too. So it is going to be coming up very, very soon. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now. But until the final ever episode of Angel, thanks for watching.